looking to throw it, and he's got the touchdown! Here's Brady's pass. It's Gronkowski! Oh, Max strips it! He is unbelievable!
Championship weekend is in the books, and man, this was a crazy experience. There was so many awesome games. A lot of things I thought were going to happen and didn't, and a lot of things I was expecting to happen, and they did. Welcome to the Tabor Gridiron Podcast. I'm Isaac, and Steven, my dad, is usually here, but he's sick, so he's not. So we have my mom and my brother Ethan coming in to help out. What are your guys' thoughts on the championship weekends?
My thoughts are, I think I didn't pick. I picked both teams that lost.
Same here. That's what happened with me too.
Definitely not what I was expecting. Joe Burrow, I thought he would beat the Chiefs again, and he did not. He had a good record against Mahomes until this last weekend. So yeah, Bengals didn't look like what I thought they would look like. Also, 49ers did not.
Same, yes.
Yeah. But they had a situation there with quarterback that was really hard.
Oh, yes. Very hard. That's why I'm personally very impressed with Brock Purdy and the transformation he's really went through on being a third-string rookie quarterback, making it to the championship game, which is all in the same year, which is just crazy to think about. And I'm really impressed with what he's done and what he had to go through for that game specifically, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Ethan, what were your thoughts about this game?
It was good.
Fascinating.
I got good picks. Eagles won. That's a good pick. Because there was two games, and I picked the Eagles and Bengals, but the Bengals lost. Eagles won, so I almost got all of them.
Okay, nice. Good for you. And so yeah, definitely. That game was very... Personally, I wanted the 49ers to win. I think they've been through more of a transformation over the year. The Eagles were always kind of incredible. They had the longest undefeated of the teams. They were a force. And I know me and my dad have talked about they kind of had an easier schedule this year. They were playing against a lot of lower caliber teams, and I was interested to see when they were going to be presented with per se like a real challenge, because they were playing against teams, Washington Commanders, just really kind of lower teams, and I really wanted to see them play against a team that had weapons and a team that was hungry and a team that was more higher caliber, and I really wanted to see what they were going to do. They have been doing awesome. They're in the Super Bowl now, so clearly they've got it figured out. Personally, I don't really want to see them in the Super Bowl. I know they were there like a few years ago or something, and I really wanted to see the 49ers go because I feel they haven't been there in so long. I kind of wanted like an underdog in the Super Bowl, and over the season, I don't think people were really rooting for the 49ers in the sense of there were so many other teams that were playing at an elite level that the 49ers often got overlooked, and that's why I personally was really rooting for them, because I'm like, you're overlooked. Brock Purdy was very overlooked. This is your time to shine. Go out there, be awesome, make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, hopefully. But ultimately, that dream did not pan out. Brock Purdy, like I said before, he was incredible. And like I was saying before, he did have a very hard time that game. He suffered a torn UCL, not ACL, UCL, which is basically like a wrist ligament. And it was
elbow, right?
Elbow, yes. Yeah. It was like a whole like arm thing. And so it is probably like really painful. And the thing that really stood out to me is, well, one, he got the injury, so he's out for a little while. They put in the fourth string, and
Josh Johnson.
Yes, Josh Johnson. Name? And so it's crazy in the sense of they have literally a fourth string quarterback in the championship game. And for me personally, he did really well. I think
until he got a concussion.
Exactly.
So really,
and Brock had to go back out.
Yeah.
Which already he was mostly just handing the ball off for running, but he did make some short screen passes, and we didn't obviously know that he had this huge injury and he was in this much pain and all that. But just the fact that he still went out there, that shows me, even if he is going to be, he has to go through rehab, even if he's not going to be here next season, I think he is still just an incredible quarterback. For one, the skill level, two, the determination of, I need to get back out there and serve my team, even though he's in immense pain. Like, it's a huge surprise that he went back out there, and I'm personally really impressed with him. I feel he should have went to the Super Bowl, or at least get like an MVP or something. I don't know. But yeah, he did really well. Their whole team did really well. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
That's why I really felt bad for them, is because they have so many weapons. They have so much potential, and they came just so close. But then injuries and all these other outside forces affected them. And
Yeah.
so,
I mean, it's pretty amazing that they got where they did with their quarterback
sure,
situation.
yes.
I mean, you're on a third stringer, and then you put your fourth in, and then you have. I was hoping they were going to put McCaffrey in. Actually, he switched helmets to play quarterback. So yeah.
Yeah. So the Dan and Mom got a goose egg. And Isaac.
yeah.
Sorry, but and Jay got all of them, right?
Oh, nice.
Jay got them both right.
Yeah. Chiefs Eagles. Chiefs and Eagles won.
Okay.
So and then Eddie Tor got them right.
Anti tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got one right, and I got one right. And then the first game was interesting. Eagles and 49ers. It was a good game, but Eagles won, and Bengals, I wasn't expecting the Bengals to lose again. The first time. Bengals to lose the first time of the... I thought they were going to go to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Go with the Eagles. If they did go to the Super Bowl, I would go to the Eagles.
You were still going for the Eagles?
Yeah. If the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, I would go Eagles. But if the Eagles and Chiefs went to the Super Bowl, I would pick Chiefs.
Oh, so you're going for
I
the
see.
Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Yes, and I wasn't actually expecting the Chiefs to win because the brothers are playing, the Kelsey brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes.
In the
They
Super
are.
Bowl?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I forgot their names though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Jason and Travis.
Yeah, Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Jason is on the Eagles and Travis is on the Chiefs.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. And then this is the first Super Bowl.
With the brothers, the first Super Bowl, the brothers, and the 49ers thought they were gonna fight the Bengals. Thought they the Chiefs and I thought the 49ers. I thought they were gonna go to the Super Bowl.
You thought the 49ers weren't going to go?
Yeah, me
That
too.
they were going to beat the Eagles?
Yeah, but I went for the Eagles. Thought they were gonna go to the Super Bowl, but I went for the Eagles.
Okay. So you're going for Eagles? No, you're going for Chiefs in
Yeah,
the Super
Chiefs.
Bowl. All
In the
right.
Super Bowl. Go with Auntie Tor and Grandma.
Oh, yeah? Okay. How about you, Isaac?
Personally, I really don't have... I think I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I really don't want... Both of my teams that I wanted to make didn't even get in. And so I kind of don't really care who wins because both teams of these I was not really hoping they're going to go in. But we talked about the Eagles and 49ers. Let's talk about the Chiefs and the Bengals. What were your opinions on that game?
I thought that the Bengals were, again, going to pull it off because Joe Burrow has good record against Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, and there were some calls in that game that were interesting, I would say.
I agree.
That third down that they gave the Chiefs and allowed them to replay that third
Playing
down.
favorites, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say it was favorites. I just think once again some calls by refs that were questionable, and that's been an issue this year. I know.
I agree.
And so that they messed up on the clock, right?
Yes.
And they let them replay that third down. The Bengals had them stopped at the third down, but they let Patrick Mahomes replay it. Then they called it pass interference on Eli Apple,
Exactly.
and then basically gave that to the Chiefs.
I agree.
So I don't know. There were some iffy calls in there, but I think that was a great game.
I agree.
think
That was a
watching that
very
game,
fun
both
game.
of those teams deserve to go to the Super Bowl. So either way, at this point, even though I wanted to see the Bengals go, Chiefs going is, they fought hard in that game. That was a good game. Better than the 49ers-Eagles game. So that's what I thought about that one. What about you, Ethan? What did you think about that? Bengals, Chiefs?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the field goal from that third down.
Yeah.
That was not expected.
You mean at the end for the Chiefs
Yeah.
to win?
And I thought the Bengals were going to get like a touchdown, anything else, and then, well, nobody won. Chiefs won, so.
They did.
Yeah, they did. So yeah, that game for me personally was a very good game. It was almost like a mini Super Bowl. They were just two incredible teams coming together, and we did see a lot of good performance from both sides. Like you said, I do think there were some iffy calls on the referee side. That thing with Eli Apple was, I think it was a little bit biased in there. Another call I thought was, I think it was a penalty to an extent, but I don't know if it was. It could have been. It was both ways. It could have been accepted. It could have been not. At the end of the game, third down, last play of the game, or it should be the last play of the game. Patrick Mahomes has to get some yardage. He throws it, gets it to his receiver. Joseph Osai of the Bengals.
No, Patrick Mahomes had the ball.
That's true.
He pushed
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes out of it. Patrick Mahomes was already out of bounds, but he had just gotten out of bounds.
Yeah.
And Osai hit him out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Long day. So yeah, there was,
It's a hard call. He was out of bounds.
but also in the
but-
sense of Patrick Mahomes, when he was out of bounds, he was flailing his arms.
Yeah.
Very
I know you thought he was very dramatic about
Aaron
that.
Rodgers
But
on us.
they were both in mid play. So even Osai, I mean, how do you really stop yourself? He had just gotten out of bounds. It's a rough, unnecessary roughness because it's out of bounds, but he was so close to being out of bounds. When it determines a game like that, it's a really hard call. I don't know. He didn't
Exactly.
go to the sidelines and push Patrick Mahomes, So, but again, both teams, the way they played, they deserve to go. I would say the only other thing is the play calling. I mean, Andy Reid he's a great coach, and he
for
knows
sure,
how
yes.
to play the clock. He knows how to call the plays. So I think that really was the advantage.
I agree. And I think that since they had Andy Reid, I think they had an advantage in the sense of, like you said, he can orchestrate plays. He can visualize things. He is one of the greats when it comes to coaches. And I think the Bengals coach is good. I think he's really helped them grow, but I don't think he's at a level of Andy Reid in the sense of
The experience.
Exactly.
Right? He doesn't have the experience.
he
of
doesn't
Andy
have the
Reid.
experience.
Right.
And Patrick Mahomes, I think, also does have a little bit more experience than Joe Burrow because they came in at around the same time, but I also think Patrick Mahomes is just surrounded by a lot of good players. He had Tyreek Hill for a while. He has Travis Kelce. He has all these really good players around him to help build him up and help bring him to the success. Joe Burrow has a lot of good players around him too, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. But I think in the Chiefs sense, they had so many other players around him. It helped him grow so much. And since he's already been to the Super Bowl and been in playoffs before, he was very comfortable in this position. Whereas Joe Burrow, obviously he's been in a Super Bowl before, so I'm sure that got a lot of nerves out, but I think there was still nerves. And I think that's also where the 49ers kind of fell is where their nerves started coming in, because Brock Purdy is a rookie. He is going into a championship game. He's played a few games on from a perspective standpoint. He's only played a little bit, and so that's, I think, what happened to him. But as back to the Chiefs and Bengals game, I was really going for the Chiefs. I thought they could pull it off. I was really hoping for a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl. That would have been amazing. But that did not pan out. The Chiefs still got the W. And I think I think they did have better plays. I think, like you said, the refs were a little bit biased on there. It wasn't even biased. It was just iffy calls. Mm-hmm. And I think there were things that could have been said differently. But, it's all in the past. It's the fun of the game. So it was a fun game to watch. Like you said, it was very entertaining, like a little mini Super Bowl. And just these two great teams coming together and playing awesomely.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And speaking of coaches, I mean, obviously, we're coming to the end of this season. We have the Super Bowl, and things change in the off season, right? Mm-hmm. And we're seeing things change already.
We are.
What do you think about Sean Payton going to Broncos?
Well, personally, I'm a little bit heartbroken because obviously he was Saints. Saints are my team, and I think he's helped them a lot. He's helped them get to good high places, especially him going to the Broncos. I think that is, as far as trading goes, I think that's a very good move for the Broncos because they need an experienced coach to coach Russell Wilson. Now, obviously, Russell Wilson has been in the league for years. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's been to Super Bowls. He won Super Bowls, and I really don't know what happened this year. Yeah. I thought for sure the Broncos were going to be at least just a higher caliber team. I thought maybe they would even make it to the playoffs like earlier in the season. But as soon as I started watching him play, I realized this is not the Russell Wilson of old. This is, I really don't know what was going on, because when you see him on the Seahawks, he is playing at such an elite level. He's playing to his strengths. He's playing to his receivers and everything. Here, he looked like a fish out of water. And I'm not going to lie, that kind of is what he is right now, because completely unfamiliar with this, surroundings of him. He's not really familiar with the receivers and all that, and I don't think he's at a skill level, because the Seahawks, he's great. Russell Wilson's insane. He plays at an elite level, but I think it's also the Seahawks organization. I think they've got Pete Carroll, they had Bobby Wagner, they have DK Metcalf, they have all these really good players coming together, and I think that environment of just really elite players can help people grow. We've seen that time and time again with all these different teams. 49ers, for example, Brock Purdy coming in, he has people around him that's helped him grow. And for Russell Wilson, he's grown a lot, and I think he is kind of up there for sure. But as far as him coming into the Broncos, I thought it was definitely a change of environment for him, and I think that's why he didn't succeed. Sean Payton coming in, I think, is a good move in the sense of he's trying to get out of New Orleans. I respect that. New Orleans is not doing very well this year. Past few years, they have not been doing very well. And so if he comes in, I think he could really be a positive asset for the Broncos, because I think he could really help them achieve greatness, because if he's there, he's got experience. He'll be able to coach Russell Wilson with an experienced mindset, and I think they'll be able to go to high places.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see what will happen with Sean Payton in Denver. I think Russell Wilson you're right, he needs a advanced, experienced coach right now, and I think that'll be good. I'm excited, actually, to see what will happen in Denver.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be really cool what's going to happen in Denver. Another thing I want to say before we wrap up is the Pro Bowl coming up. I am very excited for this Pro Bowl, because usually we just have AFC, NFC,
the
football
flag
game.
Football.
Yes, I am so excited for this. And get ready, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, each coaching a team. That is going to be amazing.
Yes, that'll be fun. And
I'm going for Eli.
I do
Eli
enjoy the Pro Bowl because those guys go out there and they have a good time together. There's
exactly
just enough competition, but not
too much competition. Yeah. It's not. Yep. It's fun, but it's a football game, but not a full football game. It's they're having fun. They're just being themselves. It's amazing. Yep. And now that they're doing flag football, I think it's going to be really fun. I love the Manning brothers coaching a team, each coaching a team. I think that's going to be really fun and really interesting to watch and see how the differences in how they coach their teams. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see how that's going down.
Should be fun.
There was a lot of good football this week, a lot of teams we saw leave, a lot of things happening, and I'm very excited to see the Super Bowl. I'm not really sure if I have a team I'm going for, but I just really want a good game.
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to see some good plays.
I agree. I can go for the Chiefs or the Eagles as long as it's a good game.
Same here. Well, thank you for coming with us today with us, guys. This is the Tabor Gridiron Podcast. Remember to like us wherever you get your podcast. Share us. That's the best way to get us around to people. And please leave a like on all the platforms that we're on. We're everywhere. And we will see you next week.
Bye.